Investigators believe one of Colorado's most prolific serial killers was behind a major cold case in Douglas County. Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 5 on your Tuesday. I'm Micah Smith.
And I'm Jessica Porter. In 1987, 30-year-old Rhonda Fisher was found strangled to death in a culvert in Sedalia. It had investigators stumped until the recent help of DNA technology.
Denver 7's Maggie Bryan spoke with DNA analysts about how they solved the case.
Crime scene photos from 1987 that freeze a moment in time and seem to foreshadow the next 38 years as the investigation into who murdered Rhonda Fisher stayed at a standstill.
Rhonda was a mother, she was a daughter, a sister, and her family members have waited nearly 4 decades for answers.
The 30-year-old was last seen walking in southeast Denver, and the next day found naked and strangled to death in a culvert in rural Douglas County. While this area still looks a lot like those photos from decades ago, investigators say a recent breakthrough in the case has changed everything, as analysts were able to link a critical piece of evidence preserved right here at this scene to one of Colorado's most prolific serial killers.
Earlier this year, our cold case unit reopened this case with a fresh set of eyes.
The Douglas County Sheriff says most of the evidence had not been tested using today's DNA technology.
DNA was not a science that was being focused on or even known in 1987.
Analysts on the case say DNA testing has even advanced since their last review of this case in 2017. Investigators say this time around, these paper bags placed on Rhonda's hands by medical examiners led to their breakthrough, preserving evidence and linking DNA to their suspect, Vincent Groves. He's believed to have killed 12 other women in the Denver metro area in the 70s and 80s.
He was convicted of murder in 1982, but served less than 5 years in prison. And almost immediately after he got out of prison, he began committing more violent crimes, including murder.
Groves died in prison in 1996 while serving time for 2 other murders in Douglas and Adams counties.
While Groves cannot be held accountable in a courtroom due to his death, today we are able to finally provide answers.
The sheriff says this shows the importance of a designated cold case team and ever-changing technology, as his office has solved 7 cold cases in 7 years, leading to closure for families, in this case, Rhonda's cousin, who was one of the only relatives investigators could track down, making sure cases like Rhonda's don't get stuck without a resolution. In Sedalia, I'm Maggie Bryan, Denver 7.
DNA technology has been crucial in cracking other cold cases and identifying victims. The Baca County Sheriff's Office credited it with identifying Nora Castillo. A farmer found her remains near Springfield in 1988, but authorities couldn't make a positive ID until 2022. It also helped get closure for the Colorado family of Nancy Anderson. In 1972, she was found stabbed to death in her Hawaii apartment. 50 years later, investigators were able to tie her remains to a suspect, Tudor Chirilla, who was then indicted for her murder.